Well, hello and welcome. This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what is on my mind. And guys, I want to say up front, I want to say thank you to everybody who likes and shares and subscribes. That is very important. You know, everybody who hits the notification bell and clicks all. You know, that is so very essential, you know, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And I want to say up front too, guys, that you can find me on Twitter. You know, sometimes people, they ask me, you know, do you have a Twitter account? And maybe because I'm saying it at the end of the video, people aren't picking it up because sometimes people don't make it to the end of the video. So yes, you can find me on Twitter at The Gospel, you know, so check me out. Of course, the link will always be in the description box, so just click that. It'll take you right over there after the video is finished, of course. And I do have a PayPal in there too, so, you know, see me in PayPal. I mean, it helps a lot because I am going to have to sooner or later upgrade my system here. It's like, I swear, I don't even know when I bought this camera, and you know, the computer outside, man, it's like you know, chugging along right now, but sometimes it takes very long for me to download my videos and shit. So you know, I would appreciate it. Plus it would give me extra time to actually do this instead of always working 6 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day and all that stuff. So, you know, I would appreciate it. I don't usually talk about it, but there it is in the description box. PayPal, you know, so thank you very much, guys. Now, on to the topic. I want to talk about my impressions, my concerns, my thoughts on The Mandalorian. You know, I saw episode 3 probably a couple of days ago. I just didn't have time to download a video or upload. Up, down, who knows? But yes, so now I'm coming to you with my thoughts on this. And I want to say right up front, I really, really enjoyed the episode. As a matter of fact, guys, I'm so afraid, you know what I mean? I'm so afraid because liking any type of Disney, Lucasfilm, Star Wars product is very, very risky business. It's complicated business, isn't it? You know what I mean? And it is, you know, so I feel so vulnerable, you know what I mean? And I put up walls, you know, it's not easy for me to love again after my heart has been broken. And Disney Lucasfilm, yes, you did. You broke my heart. And the walls, I put walls up that would make Donald Trump proud. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for me at this point to actually start feeling like I'm actually like feeling butterflies for The Mandalorian, you know what I mean? And it's way too soon. It's only 3 episodes and there's so much going on. And it's like I said, like after episode 1, probably before episode 1, I'm being very cautious because I realize they haven't introduced the female characters into the story yet. And because of the track record of Disney Lucasfilm, this can just fuck the whole shit up, you know what I mean? Not just because it's female characters, you know, it's just because they usually come with an agenda attached to them. You know, so you have to be very, very cautious with them because you don't know what you're going to get. You know, are you going to get a good, well-drawn, well-thought-out character, or are you going to get Kathleen Kennedy's soapbox? You know, so that's basically what it's about. Because right now, we see the story, it's progressing. You know, it's nothing that any of us can foresee. We don't know where they're going with it. But we know, generally speaking, that we like what we've seen thus far. You know, but if someone comes in, you know, who is echoing like someone's political agenda, and we know who that is, or, you know, something like that, then we're going to have an issue. And we reserve the right to speak on that issue. Just because we've liked what we've seen up until now doesn't mean that as of episode 4 or 5 or 6 that we can't call it the way that we see it. This is a matter of being honest. Now, I already see some fucktards on Twitter who are predicting that, oh, once the female characters get there, watch the fanboys turn away from the Mandalorian. Shut the fuck up! This is just about having an opinion, okay? And we can, like I said before, if we see some sneaky, underhanded shit, we have the right to put it on blast, okay? That's the way it goes. Because unlike you, SJWs, we adapt. We're innovative. All right, we just don't have one train of thought and we just stick to it and we just go full speed ahead with it. No, if we see something that we like, then we're going to say, that was good. Then we're going to get back on track. And if we see something that we don't like, we're going to be like, oh shit, you know, that's some bullshit. And then, you know, get back on track, but you call it as you see it. You know, that's the way a fair person thinks. You know, it's not just, you know, my thoughts are just in stone. I have spoken. No, it's not that. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, we reserve the right to say how we feel. So, episode 3, like I said, it was directed by a woman. Yes, as a woman. But even that woman, director Deborah Chow, I think her name is, respect to her, because not only did she do a great job, I think that so far this has been I think this has been my favorite episode thus far, and I'll break it down later. But not only did she do a great job, but I see in interviews she's saying that she really doesn't have a lot of use for all of the identity politics and shit like that. She just wants to be a good quality, sought after director in her profession, and that's all anybody can ask for, so I definitely give her my respect. And in this episode, it shows, because from the pacing, which I had a problem with last week, because these are very short episodes, when you step into a world as vast as the Star Wars world, you want to stay there for a while, you know what I mean? After a half an hour, it's kind of like that kid on the playground, and the parents is like, it's time to go, and you're just dead weight, you just fall down. Anybody who's had kids who have been little and stuff, you know how that is, they just fall out. I want to go. But, after a half an hour or a little bit more, it's over, and you have to leave this wonderful, vast world that we've been in. And she made the most of it, you know what I mean? It's like every sequence that happened in episode 3 was well spent. It was well executed. And I am really enjoying the characters. I like the way the characters are being built here. You're getting just enough. The Carl Weathers character, Grief, whatever his name is, he's coming along great. You see that there might be some conflict. And this is what I was talking about also in one of my previous reviews, that the show could do well with an adversary, for the Mandalorian. And I think we're just getting started with that. And I don't mean a big bad, like a Darth Vader, like an epic, like big bad. I mean that it could be a smaller epic, like there could be a Belloc, to Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones has his Belloc, which I always thought would be a great prequel to the Indiana Jones thing too, because Belloc and Indy, they clearly had history together, you know what I mean? So that might have been fun, like back in the day. I don't know about now, but yeah, so you could have that Belloc character that plays off of the Mandalorian, where they might chase after the same bounties. I thought maybe the bounty droid would have, been something like that, but it's a vast universe, so that could still be. It could be the Carl Weathers character. You never know. And also, I like the client. What's his name? Werner Herzog. I love that character. It's like everything he says. I love his lines, man. Everything he says sounds like a threat. You know what I mean? Complicated business bounty hunting is, don't you think? This dude could be saying, you want fries with that order? And I would be like, I'm good. No, thank you. You know what I mean? Dude is he's menacing, so I really like that. And, let me see, the creature, that everybody has dubbed Baby Yoda. I said in the last video, I'm not identifying him as Baby Yoda, except to, explain it to you who I'm talking about. But to me, it's the creature, and the creature is coming along. And let me just put this out there, guys, because clearly everyone is enamored, with this creature. Everyone is taken, by the creature. But I was thinking to myself, because at the end of episode 1 of The Mandalorian, when the creature puts out his tiny little finger and the Mandalorian is like reaching towards him, I'm thinking to myself, couldn't the Mandalorian easily be under a trance? If you look at his body language and the way he does what he does at that scene. And I'm wondering, now that we know that the creature, aka Baby Yoda, is force capable, is it possible? I'm saying, is it possible, right? Is it possible that the creature has got the Mandalorian under his Jedi mind trick spell? Could he be using the Mandalorian to get out of what he's into? I wonder, you know what I mean? Now, I know I'm reaching because we already saw the Mandalorian look like he's having some type of attack of conscience. So it could just be because the creature is a foundling and he was a foundling. Maybe he's just relating to him on that foundling level. You know what I mean? He's about that foundling life after all. Which, by the way, the foundling flashback that they do every time he gets the armor and he starts flashing back like Bruce Wayne and you see the pearls dropping and stuff like that. It's like when he starts flashing back to being a foundling, I'm thinking to myself, that could either be a boy or a girl. I mean, you do realize that, right? It's like the Mandalorian, I'm still not convinced, is not a Mandalorian. I know it's supposed to be Pedro Pascal, but damn it, until I see him take off that helmet, man, I'm wondering, because like I said, the way he moves sometimes, it's kind of sweet, bro. You know, like I said, it could be that Pedro Pascal is he's a very graceful man, you know what I mean? But it's still there. It's like that possibility is still there. And it's weird because when you really think about how Disney Lucasfilm has been, they're doing this foundling, orphan, family got slaughtered thing into the ground. You know what I mean? It's like first you have Mary Sue herself, Ray, who has recurring dreams or nightmares of being abandoned. You know, she doesn't know who her family is. You know, she's got her, no, come back. Then you had Jen Erso, you know, you had her family, you know, taken from her, and you have her being abandoned, and she's like, no, come back. It's like now you have the Mandalorian, who is also being abandoned by his family. Perhaps they got killed or whatever. And of course, he or she is like, no, come back. And it's just like, oh my gosh. It's like you might as well have Hall & Oates just pop out, oh, baby, come back. You know what I mean? Any kind of fool could see there was something in everything about you. But anyway, so what I'm saying is it's a recurring theme, as we know, with Disney. You know, they need to be tearing apart families for whatever reason. And that's just how it goes. But in the episode 3, you know, like I said, I love the way the characters are coming together. Even the music, guys, I feel like the music has been ramped up a little bit. Like in the beginning, I was making the observation that the music was very, very minimum. It was minimal. You know, then in the second one, I said that it was starting to get a little bit more personality. In this one, the music did sound quite theatric, you know. There were little hints, perhaps, at the most exciting parts. I don't want to say of John Williams because that's a really high bar, but I'm just going to say they were reaching. You know, they went for it, and I appreciate the effort, you know, as we always do. It's like that's all we judge things by here in the Fandom Menace and in the fandom in general. All we want to see is effort. You know what I mean? And that's what The Mandalorian is showing us. Because God knows what we're seeing on the big screen is just the laziest fucking shit ever. You know what I mean? And that's where the pushback comes from there. But we're still objective enough to say that The Mandalorian clearly has people behind the scenes who care about the story that they're telling and they care about the audience. And I would say that Kathleen Kennedy is, if she's involved very, very little. You know, because what I'm sensing is actual caring, and all I ever get from Kathleen Kennedy is just like greed and dishonesty and disrespect. So, you know, I'm happy with what I'm seeing, you know, with The Mandalorian thus far. Episode 3 so far has been my favorite episode. Like I said, I love the fact that it did have that beginning, that middle, that end. And it wrapped up, you know, it was very nicely contained in that amount of time, you know, which is a real feat because it's only a little bit over 30 minutes. So, you know, that's great, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I like the dynamic between the Mandalorian and the creature. You know, they have a really good kind of repertoire at this point where you do care about where they're going to go together, you know, and it's going to be very interesting, you know, to see what it is. Like I said, everybody is calling it Baby Yoda, but they haven't even confirmed what the species is. We know that it looks like a Yoda species, but what if it just has a period where it hibernates and just comes out like some big old ass brute or something like that, you know what I mean? Who knows, you know? So it's pretty exciting, guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. So that's it, man. That's my thoughts on episode 3. You know, I'm liking it. I'm loving it. You know what I mean? I'm still not loving it enough to forgive Disney for what they've done. I'm still not paying for Disney Plus. There are ways, like I said before, and you know, episode 9 is really going to tell the tale. But for now, what we're getting here is proof. It's proof that it can be done. Is it perfect? No. Is it going to make you forget about everything that's come before as far as the fans' relationship with Disney Lucasfilm? Hell no, it's not. But for what it is, like I said, you have to be able to identify what's good and what's not, all right? And so far, this has been very good. So you can get in the comment section, guys. Let me know. What did you like? What did you dislike about episode 3? Like, do you see any bumps ahead? You know, like, now's the time to talk about it because once it starts messing up, especially if they bring in the female characters and stuff, we will lose the ability to be able to critique this show because everyone's going to swear it's just because females are on the screen. All right, so, you know, let's talk about it. Like I said in the comment section, you can like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate it. As always, I'm on Twitter. Catch me there, guys. All right, that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.